Yo, welcome to the Sunday Live Show. Welcome to the Sunday Live Show. Before we even get started, make sure you guys like this. Alright, let's make sure you subscribe so you can stay tuned into this content. I mean, if you look back at the past YouTube videos anyways, like we've been giving you the game. We've been giving you the game plan. You know what I'm saying? Been giving you the game plan. Been giving you the best opportunities. Been giving you the best opportunities in the market, and you can't go anywhere else for these kind of opportunities, and that's just a fact. You can't go anywhere else. Nobody can give you this much information, this many good stocks. The right information, because that's what it's about. It's about the right information. I can come on here and spew out a bunch of garbage. But since I've been in here in the game for so long, I'm able to give you the right information, okay? But I do think we have an interesting day to look at. We have an interesting day. An interesting day to look at. I want to see if we have any Fed stuff going on this week. I don't think so. New home sales, consumer confidence, PCE, some Feds on Thursday. Yeah, nothing too crazy going on. Nothing too crazy going on. And I'm actually excited because this is going to end up being a monthly close week. Okay? A monthly close week. And I'm telling you guys right now, those monthly closes are very important. But like I said, we're not going to start till we get about 4K likes. About 4K likes. My boy Tucky in here. Kendall. Bitcoin 151K. I mean, we got to see 100K first, but I definitely see it going up, right? We know Bitcoin is going to end up going up. Come on, man. All these users ask about AMD, Run, Rivian. Don't worry, we're gonna look at a plethora of stocks today, okay? We're gonna look at a plethora of stocks today. No worries. We're gonna find the best opportunities, okay? And this is the best. Look, man. This is the best time to be inside of the market. This is the best time to be invested. Some of you guys might think you're late, but you're not. You're not. You're not late. Now we were telling you to buy, way down here, and and it's way up here now. But look, man, we're in a crazy type of market right now, and there's so much money to be made. I don't want you guys to miss out on it. All right, we need about 1,000 more likes, and then we'll get started. 1,000 more likes before we get started. Somebody want to look at Workhorse? Somebody want to look at Workhorse? Now this is crazy. We will be looking at no such stocks like this, man. This is crazy. But the thing is, nah, I'm not even gonna say it. It has earnings tomorrow, which is kind of funny, but it's recovered from these levels. You never know. You never know. But anyways, we got the 5K likes. You guys know how these streams go. We like to look at the Qs first just to get an overall look at the market, and then we go into the dollar, and then we take some individual stocks, okay? So first, we have to make sure we're paying attention to the Qs, and I mean, we've been spot on with what's been happening with the Qs. If you've been following along, since December 2022, since we've been telling you to buy down here, we told you again to buy right here, and we told you again to buy right here not too long ago in October. I mean, we're looking back right now. We've been like, yo, like, god dang, when is the market gonna stop going up? That's what a lot of people are trying to figure out. When is the market going to stop going up? And I'm telling you, that's not what you should be focusing on. What you should be focusing on is catching these moves to the upside. Okay, now the Qs hasn't even hit the measure move of 445, which is the length of this pole that you see right here from the flag. So I'm at, like, we've only went to 440. I mean, $5 away. We've been calling for 445 since this was just over here. Okay, since it was at 364. Yes. Since the Q's at 364, we drew the measure move and we said it was going to get to 445. Now it's almost there, okay? Now it's almost there. It went to 440 on Friday or last week. So I anticipate us to get to 445, actually complete the measure move. And also, one thing you have to know about the Qs and these measure moves in general is that they usually overshoot. Okay, the main thing I like to pay attention to when we're actually trying to figure out, you know, how high or how much, what length of time the rally can continue to go up, is I like looking at the previous data and seeing how long did the rallies from March to July last. That was a 133-day rally. Okay, it didn't top out until 133 days, and then you had this consolidation. And mind you, this was only a 1 month consolidation period inside this flag. Okay, now with what we have right here, this rally started, and it's only been 113 days, which is 20 days less from this rally. And to me, this rally has more people, has more volume, has more euphoria than this one, and more consolidation. This is a 3-month long consolidation period. Okay, so I like focusing on how long these rallies last, and to be honest, I think this rally is going to be longer than this one. Okay, so I don't care what's happening with the Qs tomorrow. I don't care what's going to happen with it in 1 week, because we know the market is going to continue to march upwards. So any dip buy opportunity that you get, like if you go to the YouTube, 5 days ago we said don't be a fool, because you had the market going down. You had a buy the dip opportunity. You had, like, you're in a buy the dip type of market right now. And if you don't understand that, you're going to end up getting cooked. And that's why I come on here often and I let you know when you should be buying. Okay? So if we get any sort of pullback, that should be a great opportunity for you to actually look at these stocks and see what's going on. Now, we ended on a green week, so I'm not going to be saying that this week. Like, we ended on a green week. Now we got to find some good opportunities and see what individual stocks we can get into. But another thing that we need to pay attention to is the dollar. Okay, I like looking at the Qs and then the dollar, and then we might look at SPY. Like, you know, I think the Q is going to end up being way bigger than SPY will ever be. But you got to make sure you're paying attention to the dollar as well. And the main point I'm going to put out there with the dollar is that this is something that we've been talking about. Okay, and some of you guys know this from like the past 2 weeks. We've been telling you that I think this is the most important indicator, to be honest with you. If you look at the dollar and how small caps and mid caps, when they ran and when the market actually got that euphoric stage to it, it all happened when the dollar was dumping. Okay, you got that in May and July when you had that super run. Some of you guys remember May Tropes, you know, that was, we had small caps going crazy, just random stocks going stupid. Okay, and then you had the same thing happen in November and December. That was actually wild. Now I'm predicting that we're gonna get some of the same sort of euphorium that we had in this November and December run, in this May and July. Okay, so this February super run is very, very important. That's why IWM, TNA, mid cap, small caps, I think those stocks are going to be very, very, very important, especially when you know that a lot of these stocks went to all-time highs. Like, you have Nvidia at all-time highs. So money's going to end up getting rotated into those. Okay, so I think that's the most important indicator that you need to pay attention to, is the dollar rejecting and actually continuing its fall down to $97. Okay, that's going to be very important. But anyways, let's move on. All right, let's move on. Those are just the two things that I'm paying attention to, and that will let me know when the rally is done, what stocks we should be paying attention to, etc. Okay, but anyways, comment down below what stocks you guys want to look at, and then we'll go through them one by one. We'll go through them one by one. We'll go through them one by one. Somebody said Baidu, Tesla. I want to look at Baidu. No, I don't want to look at Baidu, but because it has earnings. But I'm telling you right now, Baidu in China is very, very interesting right now. If you're in the Discord, there's a reason why we took yen. I see a lot of people asking about CLSK, so we will look at that one though. Yeah, I've seen CLSK a couple times, so let's look at CLSK. Alright, CLSK is giving you a pullback, and it's consolidating. Okay, this is a stock that ran up to $19. If you're in the Discord, you know what contracts were in for CLSK. Look, man, the price target that I have is over $60 for something like this. To me, it hasn't even got started, okay? You look at the monthly time frame. Let me show you something. You look at the monthly time frame and there's nothing even bearish about this, okay? There's nothing bearish about this, especially in the month of February where you had this big old red, green candle. It reminds me of exactly what happened down here, okay? You had that red candle, you had that red candle, then you had that big green candle, you had this big green candle. To be honest, this should continue to march upwards. The only thing that's going to mess you up is if you don't get the right contracts, okay? If you look at Bitcoin, we know the price target on this is over 100K. Okay? We know the price target on something like CLSK is over 100K. I mean, the price target on Bitcoin is over 100K, so that means CLSK will ultimately end up following what Bitcoin does, right? So if we're looking at CLSK, I don't even like looking at the smaller time frames, because if this does ever give you a huge dip, which I look, man, I doubt it'll give you a big dip like it gave you back here when we got in the calls for the June calls back in January, late January, down here. I doubt it'll ever give you something like that again. Why? Because there's too many people that now know. Okay, so if I'd be looking to look, if you wanted to do this the smart way, and it even had an inside candle on daily. Okay, this is very bullish. It closed with an inside daily candle. All right, if you want to be smart with CLSK, and to me, this is something that we've been talking about for a while. I begged you guys. I literally begged you guys 3 weeks ago when it was down here to get into these Bitcoin miners. Begged you. All right, if you want to play this the right way, you would just get some June $20 or $25 calls in CLSK, and you would dollar cost average in if it ever does get back to $13. Okay, you would buy tomorrow, and then if it ever gets down here, you buy more. Okay, that's the only way to play CLSK in my opinion. Day trade, yada yada yada. Yeah, those are up 350%. And to be honest, I think they're going to go up more. You're just getting some sort of consolidation period. You got 3 months on them. You know? So, I think you should hold them. Anyways, let's move on. What other stocks are we looking at? Everybody always want to look at CLSK. But let's look at IWM, because IWM is actually important, okay? IWM is at an important spot, and to be honest, when we just looked at the dollar and we know what's going to happen when the dollar actually does start falling, which it hasn't, you're able to actually front run a lot of people. Small cap ETF saw a record flow. Look at this. Hold on. Small cap ETFs saw record inflows last week. I've been trying to tell you guys that money is going to look. If you've never been in a bull market, if you've never actually been in the market, you need to listen to me when I tell you this. The money's going to rotate. The money's going to end up rotating. And by rotating, I mean going into other opportunities, the mid-cap opportunities. That's why you see Home Depot going crazy. That's why you see a lot of these $300 billion stocks going crazy now. Okay, so if I'm looking at IWM, first of all, I'm not talking about these weekly contracts, okay? You guys know I'm in TNA, and you don't want to mess with the weeklies. Now you can if you day trade, do what you want to do. I really don't care. But this is an opportunity that, to me, if you play it smart, you're able to not do too much work, and you're able to just sit on it and collect money while late people get in. A lot of people right now, like the big money, like a lot of money is focused on the Nvidias, the SMCIs, those type of stuff, which makes sense. It's going crazy right now. It's the hype right now. Where is the hype going to end up being next is what I like asking myself. Where is the hype going to end up being next? Where are people going to put their money once that stuff settles down and it starts consolidating? They're going to put it in something like this. And if you look at the monthly time frame anyways, like this should give you as much bullish confluence that you need. Okay? It is now closed. It has now had 2 monthly closes. To be honest, this has never looked like this. This hasn't looked like this in a very long time. I mean, if you look back since December 2021, it's never actually had huge green closes on a monthly time frame above that 21 EMA, and now it's had 3. It's had 3 closes. Close right here, and now it closed right here. 3 back-to-back months. That should excite you guys. That's it. That should excite you guys, man. I actually really like this one. I really like it. It's consolidating in this nice little flag like you see right here. When is it gonna break out? Who knows? Who knows? That's not your job to figure out when it breaks out. It's your job to make sure you're well positioned in order to take advantage for when it does break out, okay? So if I was looking at something like this, I would look to get, you know, maybe some June calls or something, you know, maybe some Julys. Maybe some July. So the measured move on this is back to 235. That's where I would like to see it. And I got a funny feeling we're gonna come back in like 3 months, okay? We're gonna go live in 3 months. And it's gonna be the same story that's been happening over and over again. The price target is gonna hit. The price target is gonna hit. It's even closing above all 3 of these resistance points anyways. So this dates back August 2022. You had a rejection. Now it's consolidating right there and getting some closes above there. Oh yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Anyways, let's move on. I heard China AI is ripping this morning. China AI. What? Let's look at Lyft. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I want to look at Lyft just because it had that earnings blunder or whatever it had, and this is, man, I don't know. It had that earnings blunder, but I do like it on the daily time frame. Like if you look at this candle, this is a reversal candle, you know, that could potentially take you back to the upside. This is a daily morning star, but other than that, I'm not gonna spend too much time on that one. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that one. Let's look at Shop. Shop actually looks really good right here. Yeah. This is why I go live. This is why I go live. Shop looks very good based off a few things. Even the daily looks good. It has that hidden bullish divergence that we love to see, that we've seen on plenty of stocks that end up going back to the upside. You have it making a higher low, but this is making a lower low, right? You come to the 8 hour. You come to the 8 hour or the 4 hour, and it's giving you that bull divergence on the 4 hour, which tells us that a short-term reversal is in play. Love that. You come to the weekly, it's bouncing from the 21 EMA. So to me, this has all the signs to me that this is ready to go up. This is ready to go up. Even the hourly looks good, okay? The only thing that I'll be paying attention to is to make sure that it breaks out from this little wedge that it's in right here. Okay? This looks very good. This is probably one of the best ones we've seen tonight, okay? It has the measure move back to around $81. Once it gets above $81, you have to see what it does, but it should take you back into that consolidation range. I really like it. And it even had a great day on Friday when a lot of stocks weren't doing too hot. Like if you look at this, let me see. You look at this chart and then you look at the Qs. Yeah, like the Qs was downtrending and Shop was very strong. So I like it. Whoever said Shopify, shout out to you. We'll have to see how it opens tomorrow, and this is probably a stock that I'm going to be watching for a quick little day trade. We'll see. It got to hold above, 77 and do its thing, but this is probably one of the better ones we've seen. Hidden bull divergence on a 4 hour. It looks good. Anyways, put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. We'll move on. Somebody said LYB. very consolidated. Man, this is. Yeah, this is choppy, bro. This is choppy. But it's been choppy for about 8 years, man. I don't know, but it is getting tight in here. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one just because this is one that this has been chopping, bro. This has been chopping. If you spam it, I gotta mute you. Twilio. Let's look at Twilio. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time on that one, bro. That one, come on now. It don't look bad, but okay, for Twilio, the weekly closed out very nice, but I'm gonna tell you one thing I do not like about Twilio, and that it dumped for earnings. When a stock like that dumps for earnings, you know, it usually continues to dump. So for me to actually want to mess with something like Twilio again, sure, the weekly looks very good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And that's one thing. Like, if I don't, I'm not about to sit here and look at a stock that, look, I don't see nothing for it. I don't see nothing for it. It beat earnings, but it dumped, and now it is making these. Like, the only thing that I could say that I kind of like for it is that it is making these. You know, it hasn't made a lower low. Like, as long as it's been here since December 2022, it's made a higher low almost every single time. Now, me personally, I would love to get it at $54 if it ever gets back to this trend. I'm actually gonna put an alert if it does get right there. Okay, I would like it at 53, at 53.33. And also, now that I'm looking at it even more, I'm glad I didn't just pass it up. I'm actually seeing some hidden bullish divergence. It's hidden bull divergent right here. And you got the small cap. You know, it might. This could be a decent time to actually probably get in like some June calls and try to average in and see what you could do with it, just because we have seen the dollar. But other than that, I'd be waiting for 53.33. That's where I would love to get it. That's where I would love to get some Twilio. And actually, every single time it does get to this RSI like 30-ish, it usually gets a nice bounce. Like, we can scroll back and find so many times where it's bounced right there. So that's interesting. That's interesting. It's decent. It's decent. 10. Pan W. Let's look at Pan W. Palo Alto. Oh yeah, this is one that dumped huge on earnings. Will it have a huge bounce back? We'll have to see, but to be honest, yeah, I'm not gonna. These earnings dumps and stuff like that, I don't even like paying attention to. I don't even like paying attention to it. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay attention to it. You guys want to look at some stocks that's about to recover. Okay. He said, watch it come back. Hey, man, it might, you know, but I'm all right. Let's look at EMPH. EMPH now, to me, looks like an opportunity that looks very, very good because it swept this support right here. It swept the support. I think a lot of people are now turning bearish on energy. It could look good. I mean, it might come down to 110. This is a risky one with high reward. This is a risky one with high reward, okay? Risky one with high reward. Has a lot of support at this 115 and even right here at 118. Like, a lot of support. Like, this is where it bounced from right over here and went all the way back to 134 in the matter of 2-3 days. So I really like this level. I really like this level. There's a reason I haven't sold. And I think we got to see what happens next week. Snow, Futu. Let's look at Futu. AMC is going for a run this week. Just saying, man. Futu and China in general look very good. Okay, Futu and China look very good in general because that's why we got into yen at the end of the day. Yen to me is what I would focus on if I wanted to mess with some China, just because you're exposed to, you know, everything, not just Futu. But Futu, it actually looks good, okay? Like we said the last time we were on here, it keeps making these higher lows. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Even a higher low right here. So as long as it continues to uptrend like you're seeing right here, that should give you confidence that this is going to continue to go to the upside. Now, when does it have earnings? Does it have earnings for a while too? Yeah, like until March 20th. I actually really like this one. I really like it. And even if you look at a weekly time frame, like, it's been uptrending. You'd be a fool to short it right here, because usually when it gets that higher low, it makes, you know, except this time right here, it makes that higher high, or it continues to push up. I like it. This is a very good one that we've seen today. Very good one that we've seen today. It's in the buy area. China could be hot. I'm gonna be watching Futu. I'm gonna be watching Futu. It even closed a weekly inside candle. This is a weekly inside candle. Yeah, I like it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's a good risk to reward at the end of the day. You guys know Futu, like look what Futu was doing back here. Like Futu, when Futu runs, it runs. Yeah, this could potentially get back to 75, man. I like it. I like it. There's a lot of confluence happening with it. A lot of confluence happening with it. It is China though, so you always gotta be careful with stuff like that. But it does have a lot of confluence. PLTR or BA. Let's look at BA. BA swept people at that 197 level, and then closed back above it. So as long as it continues to close back above 198, I mean, look at what it did right here. This is where it didn't close above 198 and went all the way down to 176. Okay, so this is a very important level. Every single time it's got right here, it bounced straight back up to 215 and 212. So this is actually a very interesting one in my opinion. I mean, it's at this huge, like, this is where you had that big consolidation for a very long time. This is the level that it took off and went all the way to 240. So to me, the risk to reward right here will be on the call side, and then just stop out if it ever closed below on a weekly. I like it. I like it. And you can even say it's a huge inverse head and shoulders. I mean, BA usually goes back to all-time highs. I'd be very confused, and it'd be an amazing buying opportunity if this did dump back down to 135, 130. I like it. I like it, but it has been weak. I will say that. Like, there's no bull divergence on any time frame. It is weak. Or no, the 8 hour, like on bigger time frames, it actually, like, it looks like it wants to reverse, but on smaller time frames, not so much. So the 8 hour looks good. Daily looks good. I mean, it made a lower low. I mean, like, this is bull divergence on a daily. This should be an interesting one, man. It should be an interesting one. It should be an interesting one. I like BA. I like BA. It should be an interesting one. Starbucks. I'm telling you guys right now, Nike, one stock that nobody said on here is Nike. And I'm telling you right now, Nike is ready to go absolutely crazy. Nike is probably one of the ones that you need to pay attention to the most. And I'm saying that because the chart, and I made a lot of money on Nike this week just knowing that it looks bullish. This is a bottoming out pattern. The stock has been trying to bottom out for 2 months on a 4-hour time frame. This looks very good. Right here, okay? And it even has great risk to reward. Let me make it look all nice and pretty again. We got in down here at 103, okay? Ever since then, it's never returned. It's never returned. We got in on Monday. It never returned to that 102 level, and it looks like it wants to continue to hold it. This is a bottoming out pattern at the end of the day, and probably one of my favorite watches heading into next week or this week. All right. You look at it on a weekly time frame. Huge support at that 100 level. It continues to close above these supports that eventually led it to get to 121. You got to remember, Nike was ready to go crazy until earnings came out. And now this is why I don't like playing those earnings. You know, when a stock dumps for earnings, trying to play that earnings run up again, because it usually fakes you out and then just heads back lower and then consolidates for a long time. Nike has had that consolidation period. It looks good, man. In a flag on a daily time frame, measure move. Let me see. Measure move back to around 110, but that's conservative because once it does that, it'll get back in that gap fill. And to be honest, I think consumer and non-durables and these, you know, like that's why Starbucks looks very good as well. You look at a weekly on Starbucks, it's holding that 93 level. Now, if it starts getting some weekly close below 93, then yeah, but sitting in a humongous flag, like these retail stocks or like consumer stocks look very good. Look very good. To me, Starbucks ready to go back to all-time highs, okay? This is probably Nike, Starbucks, and you know what's even the funnier part is where the money is going to end up getting rotated into those because they're over 100 billion. These are the next stocks up. I tell you guys, you know the market is not done being bullish. You know the market's not done being bullish. But where can the money go? You think they're just going to run Meta up all the way to 1,000? They might. They might. You know? They might. But no, it's going to end up getting rotated into stocks that look like this. Like, look, I mean, when do you think Starbucks is, I mean, come on now. And you look at Starbucks, and I always tell you guys when it gets above that left shoulder, Starbucks is now above that left shoulder, you always get a retest of that head. Not always, but you know, 80 to 85% of the time, you get a retest of that head. I mean, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Weekly looks good. If this ever starts closing above $97, come on now. Come on now. Looks absolutely amazing. Nike does as well. Starbucks. Those two are my favorite heading into next week. Disney. Somebody said Disney. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And I actually meant to enter on Friday when it came to that 105.90 level, because I don't know if you guys pay attention to the market a lot, and I'm actually about to put you guys on game really quick. When you get that earnings gap up, it's always gonna consolidate you a little bit, maybe fake you out on a little head run, and then head back down just so it can sweep the people right here. I can show you multiple instances of this exact same thing happening, and then once it hits right here, that's when it really starts going. Okay, so Disney right here is very, 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 very interesting. I don't know if you guys remember, we were talking about Disney like down here at $90, and you know we made a lot of money on this run, but I don't think Disney's done at all. The consumer services. Let's look at consumer service stocks really quick. I think this could be actually very helpful for a lot of people. Somebody said McDonald's, and McDonald's is the first one on there. Let's look at McDonald's. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is why I stay on live for a little bit, because we end up getting in flowing, man. We end up getting in flow. And you know, God did at the end of the day. Yes. Consumer services. Consumer services. I mean, somebody said McDonald's, and McDonald's is about to break out from a place that hasn't broken out from it in an entire year. So what do you think is gonna end up happening? And and it's about to break out from an inverse Head and Shoulders that it had. You come back to consumer services, you have Starbucks. What's the next one? Disney. We looked at Disney. Disney looks incredible. Let's look at CSA. Yes. Yes, bro. Yes. Yes. First of all, you got to respect what it's done from a very long time. That's the first thing I always like to look at. This thing usually goes to all-time high, especially in bull markets. Like, come on, this thing has made an all-time high in every bull market. In every bull market that we've had, CMC SA has made an all-time high. And it's giving you a red monthly candle with a higher low. The daily looks like it's bottoming out. Why did this even go down? This thing has excellent, man, consumer services look very, very, very good. This thing is sitting at support anyways. Like, this is demand. You wouldn't even want to short inside of here anyways. And it has great risk to reward. Great risk to reward. Because all you got to do is stop out below $41 and that's 90 cents away. Yeah. Yes. What else they got out here that I like? Airbnb, DraftKings. Let's look at a couple more from these, because I think consumer services just might be ready. You know, we know healthcare is going to go crazy, but I don't think no one's talking about consumer services. And these look, man, the best that we've seen tonight. You look at Domino's Pizza, and why do they all look ready to break out from that left shoulder that we've been talking about all year, where we've seen these stocks break out from their left shoulder and then come back and retest that head? We've seen that multiple times. And if we've seen that multiple times and the probability on it is over 90%, we've seen them play out 9 for 10. Maybe one of them didn't play out, but the other 9 they did. Right? Now, Domino's Pizza has earnings tomorrow. Yeah, it has earnings tomorrow, so, you know, we got to scratch that one off. But consumer services look very good. We got Airbnb. Yeah, even Airbnb. Yeah. Definitely watching Airbnb tomorrow. For sure. Oh, for sure. For sure. Bro. Yeah, I found out what we're watching tomorrow. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Airbnb, the consumer services. The great thing about this one is it dumped for earnings. It dumped for earnings but got bought back up. Like, this is one that I don't think they want to fall. Inside daily candle, gotta love it. And it hasn't broken out from this huge resistance that we've been focusing on for a while now. Like, this thing has been rejecting for an entire year, just like a lot of the other consumer service stocks. I mean, look at this though. I mean, to me, this is sitting in a huge channel ready to retest the top around 174 easily. And it might happen this week. Oh yeah, we ran into some gems. Consumer services, love it. Love it. Somebody said Kava. Let's look at Kava. Well, somebody said Kava earlier, but now I actually do want to look at Kava. Because it's consumer service. Like, I'm putting some respect on it. Now, it has earnings Tuesday. Never mind. Anyways, those look very good, man. Those look very good. Let's look at SPNK. I can't find it. I like Kava. Yeah, Kava looks very good. What about healthcare? Healthcare looks amazing. I mean, UNH is breaking out. UNH is breaking out of a cup and handle, but I stopped focusing on this one because the contracts on UNH are trash. I think the best thing that we can do during this rally right now, the reason we've been so good and actually getting into so many great stocks is because we're forward looking on here, man. We look at what's going to potentially happen next. What do you think about PFE? This is tradingview.com. But yeah, Bud. Consumer non-durables. Yes, that's another thing. That's why Nike looks good, because it's consumer non-durables. But yeah, Bud Light, I mean, we can look at this chart and it looks good. And I think the reason it fell anyways was because it had, first of all, we had a buy area in here. We looked at it previously, but a lot of these stocks look on the cusp of breaking out. And they haven't broken out in 2 years. We looked at McDonald's. It hasn't broken out. It didn't break out since July 2023. And it's just been hitting that resistance, hitting that resistance, hitting that resistance. Could it be time? I don't hear nobody talking about consumer durables, consumer services. But yes, Bud looks very good, man. Looks very good. And it's been hitting that resistance line for quite some time, to where if it does break out, this thing probably going back to 100. Consumer non-durables. PG, Coke, Pepsi, Nike. Nike's the fourth one on there. Look, the main stocks I'm paying attention to: consumer services, consumer non-durables. Those all look good in my opinion. Nike to me looks the best. But let's look at Baba. Let's look at ARM. Look, ARM did exactly what I told you guys happens when a stock has an earnings gap up. But yes, ARM could potentially break out right here. Could it break out right here at this 134 level? Absolutely. I would have loved to get it right here though. And since I didn't, I'm not really paying attention to it. But if it breaks out from that 135, this thing should go crazy. It's already gone though. Like, to me, stuff like this, I feel like I've missed. Look, China looks great in general, okay? It's just consolidation and, you know, it's just consolidating, bro. PDD is probably the best China stock that you can get into. And I know this because look, I got all this TA marked up on it. And it all ended up being correct. We made whole TikToks about, hold on now. Yes, this dump on PDD that you see right now, you probably need to start messing with it. You probably need to start messing with it, okay? This thing has hidden bull divergence. This thing has the biggest hidden bull divergence I haven't seen since we told you to buy right here. We told you it's gonna get to the top. It's at the top. Now it's having a huge hidden bullish divergence that you see right here, which is crazy. PDD looks absolutely amazing right here. Came to the buy area that we had, came to 120, and now it's giving you a nice pullback. You gotta love it. It's even in the buying area, closed above the buying area, to where now all you gotta do is stop out if it starts closing below 127, and that's only $69 away. You just do that on a daily time frame. Come on now. PDD looks amazing, but I don't like PDD because you can't trade it on Thinkorswim. You can't trade it on Thinkorswim, so I don't really like looking at it. But this thing's sitting in a humongous flag. To me, it can get to 176 pretty easily. I mean, look at this. Easy. Let's look at Tesla. A lot of people ask about Tesla. What strike are you feeling? If you want any strikes, or, you know, what I potentially get into, yada yada yada, you got to be inside the Discord. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this monthly close on Tesla, it looks like March is gonna be very bullish. If Tesla can close like this, I'm telling you right now, there's been multiple times where I've seen stocks close like this on a monthly time frame, or this candle pop up, which is a Morningstar candle, and then we just see a huge big old green candle next. Okay, I'm telling you, that's what I've seen. Now will Tesla do it? Hey man, I think so. I think so. Don't let Tesla release what they're actually doing. Don't let them tell you what they're actually doing. They might pull an Nvidia type move. Tesla just doesn't like telling you what they're doing. They like making it seem like they're just doing EVs. But I'm telling you, they got a whole AI. Man, they making robots over there, man. They making robots. If you think Tesla is not a buy the dip situation, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. But even on a smaller time frame, I would love to get this at around, if it ever gets back to around 186, 180, around here, 186.50, inside of there. If it ever gets back in there, I will be buying again. You'll see me in the Discord saying I'm getting into Tesla, etc. Last time we got a Tesla, we made some money. Okay, let's see. Last time we got into some Tesla, what did we do? Oh, we made some money. We made some money. Okay, so Tesla, I'm liking it again. If it ever gets to 186, that's what I'll be looking for. If not, I would like a daily close above 197. If Tesla never gets to 186 and it reverses right here, I would like a daily close at 197. All right, but right here, it's just inside of this consolidation period to where you don't quite know where it's gonna go. I would leave it alone. It's closed at 194. It closed at 195. It closed at 194. It closed at 192. It's just consolidating right here. Like, this is garbage. This is garbage. You might get a nice little day trade, but other than that, this thing is not Tesla. That ain't Tesla. That's not the Tesla I know. That's not the Tesla I know. Okay? But I mean, there's absolutely no way I'd be bearish on something that looks like this. And bro, and this is actually a very bullish Tesla weekly close, believe it or not. I could scroll back and show you multiple times where Tesla's done something like this and after it went crazy. So we know where Tesla's going to end up going. I mean, it's at the bottom of the flag right here. I anticipate to get back to the top around 240. Nothing has changed. This is exactly like the Qs when the Qs was inside of the flag. We told you to buy right here at 176. I still think this can get to around 240, okay? Tan. Let's look at tan. Tan is now giving us an entry, man. We talked about this one over here. Never entered into it, but now I think we might have to be looking at it, okay? Somebody said tan and then somebody said SE, and you know what's funny? They look. This is kind of what tan SE looked like before it went crazy. And now SE is in an uptrend going stupid inside of this channel, ready to go back to $48. But you look at SE and then you look at tan. I mean, they both had that double bottom and then just kind of kept going back to that area, but ultimately never wanted to close below that area. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for something like tan. I mean, you zoom out on a monthly time frame, and to me, especially on a monthly, like look at that's a bullish monthly candle. Okay. Nothing not to like about it. I love it. Huge hidden bullish divergence on a weekly time frame. To be honest, I'm paying attention to it this week. We've now got that pullback that I like to see. I'm paying attention to it. It's back in demand. Yes, love it. This is where I'll be looking to get some long-term contracts, like some Junes. I would definitely be looking to get some June calls right here because the risk to reward is there now. Because even if it goes below 40, like it'll be all right. If it goes below $40, you lost out on what? Not that much. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Make sure you're inside of the Discord. The link is in the bio. And yeah, man, we looked at some great things. We looked at some great things. If you want if you want to see what we're actually getting into, we said Nike, Starbucks, etc. But you got to be inside the Discord to get the actual contracts. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm out. Peace.